everybody. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you.
Having a good time?
Yes, I am.
Brilliant. That's all you need to hear, really.
Pardon?
That's all you need to hear, really.
Okay.
So, let's start at the beginning, shall we? So, you were, I believe, born in Arkansas?
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm. How was that?
Well, it was a wonderful place to grow up. It was, I always lived in a small town, and Arkansas, if you don't know too much about it, is farming country. And I rode horses and, yeah, stuff like that.
But then apparently at a young age you then moved to Italy.
That came much later.
Okay.
We moved from Arkansas and to Atlanta, Georgia, which is was a big city for us. And my father had worked there, and it was a big adjustment for me because I went from playing with dolls to wearing a bra. Really, it was kind of like that. And
Did it take a long time to adjust then?
it did, but not too long, but a while. Yeah.
So, when was the age that you kind of got the acting bug?
About 6 years old.
Okay.
Yeah, I was playing with paper dolls, and at that time, paper dolls were movie stars. I mean, name movie stars. And I loved doing that. They had beautiful dresses and all that. And I thought, oh, Mom, maybe I want to do this. I want to wear clothes like that, etc. And then they stopped making those paper dolls for licensing. It was about money, you know, and I stopped making those. And then I grew into other things, you know, started doing other stuff. After the paper dolls, after 6.
And were your parents kind of encouraging with the acting? Was there resistance?
Well, they didn't take it seriously. They didn't take it seriously until I became a teenager, and until almost the day I left and said, bye, now I'll be in touch, and I left for Italy. But first, before that, I tried to go out to Hollywood with my car, driving, and my car broke down in Texas, and so I stayed there for a while, and I took some classes in college, and then finally I went back to Atlanta, but I still had that acting bug. And I had been watching Clint Eastwood movies. Remember the Sergio Leone, those westerns that he did? I loved those. And I thought, well, if this guy can do that, I'm sure I can go over there and do something.
Because that became whatever happened to Solange.
And then that was the first movie that I made. Yeah, I did. I went over to Rome. That was the film capital, and I sent my resume to Franco Zeffirelli. He never called. He didn't call me. But Massimo Del Romano did, and I would like to see you, and you know. And so we met, and he explained to me that he was going to be doing this movie, a thriller, and that he had me in mind for the part of a young girl. There were these young girls in the movie, you know, 16 or 17 years old or something like that run around together. And I was to be one of those girls. And that's how I got my first part. And do you know the story?
I do, yes.
Yeah. I mean, she had a, shall I tell it?
Yeah, so maybe something I'd like to know.
Well, I think it's a very good movie, and it's one of my favorite movies that I ever did. And she gets pregnant, and so she and her friends decide that she'll have an abortion. And it was a backroom abortion that apparently didn't go very well. And so she loses her mind, and then the film kind of continues on from there. And Fabio Testi, the wonderful, beautiful Fabio Testi that I love, he was a professor at the school that I went to, and his wife, I don't know if I pronounced her name right or not, Karen Ball, B-A-A-L, from Germany. That was his wife, and they started looking into this because my friends started getting murdered. Someone was murdering my friends, and so that's what happens. And after that, I'll just tell you the whole movie. After that, the murderer is caught at the end, and it's really a surprise. I don't know if I want to ruin that for anyone or not. It's up to you guys.
Should leave that for now, just in case. You never know. But it's worth watching if you haven't.
So I say again who the murderer is.
Oh, God.
No.
Oh, God.
You won't see it coming. Yeah.
I didn't see it coming. I mean, I didn't. When I went to see the movie, that was the first time I'd seen the movie, and this was the first movie that I had ever been in. I was a little nervous about that. And anyway, seeing the movie, and that's when I found out who the murderer was my father in the movie, because of what my girlfriends had taught me. He felt like they had taught me into getting this abortion and had been a bad influence on me, and so he was killing them off.
That's that, yes.
And that's it. Wow.
Was it happy to do?
I had a lot of fun. I met one of the girls that was playing a girlfriend was from Sweden, and she said, Camille, I know a place that we can move to somewhere in London. You know what she did? And I said, oh, okay. And she said, we'll pay so little to stay there, we'll be able to save just about all of our per diem. And so I sounded like a good idea, and I got to spend the per diem money on something else, clothes, whatever, you know.
Have you been to London then?
I had a great time. Yeah, and I went to a place called the Speakeasy.
Hey!
You remember that?
No, it's from my mum and dad's time.
Oh, yeah, okay.
All the rock stars hung out there.
Yeah.
Not that my parents were rock stars.
And they had this great music there, like live music, and, you know, I was in this world of,
I think when you made the film, London was still just about swinging, wasn't it?
I don't know. I had no idea. I was just
It's
there.
going to be vibrant.
I know, it was great. Yeah. Shopping. Harrods.
Did you get to Bieber?
Viva, yes, I loved it. Still do, probably.
So from Italy then, how did you come to be cast in I Spit on Your Grave?
Well, at a certain point, I decided after about 4 years of living in Italy, I should move back to the United States because that's where my mommy is and my father and my family. And so I moved back to America, but Atlanta was kind of a hard act to follow after having lived in Rome. So I decided to move to New York City. And in New York City, I was looking one day into a trade paper called Backstage. I don't know if any of you have ever heard of it, but it had an advertisement for an actress to play in this movie, which turned out to be I Spit on Your Grave. And that's how I found that part. I didn't have an agent.
And was that obviously a very dramatic film, we can safely say?
I should say so.
Yeah. And also you must have been quite physically exhausted.
Well, from doing all that, or
Kind of
working
from
on
the
a
action,
script?
because obviously the way that you're being thrown about and rocks and so forth.
I was pretty agile and good at that kind of thing.
Were you well looked after by the crew?
Yeah, I would say so, yeah. I had the director show me, not a lot of spirit back then, I'll tell you. The director wanted me to do this scene on this rock where I'm attacked by these gentlemen. And I said, you want me to do what? You want me, after they've attacked me, you want me to roll off the rock and into the ground and into that tree? Please show me how that's done. And he did. I mean, yeah, it was.
Did he go to himself or you did?
He scratched himself up a little bit. I mean, he took off some clothes, you know, and when I wouldn't let him go past, you know, a certain thing, no, that's enough, you know. Yeah, he kind of scratched himself up, but I thought, okay, I've got to be a sport, I've got to do this, I signed up for this, let's get it done, and it turned out fine. I think we did it in my part, we did it one take, and then they did close-ups of the guys, as I recall.
Okay. And also again, given the grim subject matter, did you find that there was a sense of, let's make the atmosphere behind the scenes light and happy towards compensate for that heartbeating story?
I didn't see anything light and happy about going on in that Spit on Your Grave that I can recall right offhand, but maybe we don't remember those things, but you know, life is normal.
Mm-hmm. And you won the best actress award at Sitges for it.
At Sitges thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. I did.
Did you actually get to go to collect it?
No, we were invited to go to Sitges. I forget what it's called, the Film Festival of Fantasy and Terror or something like that. And we were planning to go, and then Mayor and I by that time had gotten married. And he wasn't feeling well, and it turned out that he had appendicitis. So we stayed. And then the following year, we did go to Sitges. And I got to experience being the president of the jury. Wow. Yeah. Who would have thought that, you know?
So what are your thoughts on the film overall then today?
I think, you know, there's no turning back. You can't undo it. And I'm glad that I did it, or I wouldn't be here, you know, talking to you guys and sharing stories. I think it definitely has a message there, and they showed that message very well.
I thought the message was that what it's saying is the judicial system for rape victims is so awful. You wouldn't blame the character for doing what she did. That was my take.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, look what can happen, and it has happened. Maybe not like that, but in real life, there have been occasions where women went and got revenge with her attacker or attackers, and it showed that, and the humiliation and the hurt and the pain that my character went through, and I thought it showed some good things about that, and I've had a couple of ladies come to me and just pour their heart out to me regarding experiences that they have had like that. And it happened at a convention, and this young lady came to me and talked about it and cried for half an hour. went outside the room when you go in to the convention, and telling me about what had happened to her, and she was crying, and she was very happy I had made this film. So I thought, just has some redeeming qualities. I didn't think that before that.
And I guess at the time, because you're so concentrated, it must have had just like any other acting job at the time.
Well, we were all kind of different. This one was really extreme, it was, and I'm surprised sometimes that I did it, but the script was, didn't have everything in it that you see on the film. In the film, you don't see all that. We took it day by day. And I used my ability to imagine what she would do and things like that, and what she might say too. And there are only about, I think I only had about 9 lines in the whole film. Just shows her going through this transition. She was upset.
Yeah. So how's it coming back to that character, Jennifer, for I Split in Your Rain, Deja Vu? It's only a couple years ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, 40 years later, I've been asking the director, aren't you ever going to make a sequel to this movie? Make one. And I wanted to be in another movie with him. And
So we still good friends then?
well, we were friends. I don't know how good we were, but we were close. We had been married, and I knew he had the talent to do it. And, so one day he calls me, he says, we're going to do this. And then they have a beautiful young lady by the name of Jamie Bernadette. And she's a wonderful actress, too. She's made a lot of films for Lifetime, which is, I don't know how to explain it, it's kind of it's a station that we have in America, and she's done a lot of those. She works all the time. I think she should be at one of these shows.
I'm sure that will happen.
I hope so. She wants to come.
Well, there you go. There we go. She's willing. That's a good start.
If we came together, it'd be great. We're on the wall. So,
Sorry, you can say.
so she can play my daughter, I get killed, I think, don't I?
Get your head cut off. Sorry, that's
Oh my God!
Did you think that was necessary?
Oh,
Did you think you should have died? You get happy with that?
no, I should never die in a movie. That's what happens,
Well, as the actual shooting, did it feel like the same kind of feel to the original, or did it feel like a whole different world of movie making?
It was a little different, yeah. But basically the same. I mean, you learn your lines, do your part, and do what the director says, and give them your input, and there you go, go have dinner.
Now, I'm a big fan of Joe Bob Briggs, so how was the TV
Oh,
show?
love that man. Yeah, when we first moved to Los Angeles, my husband and I, we met Joe Bob Briggs. And I didn't get to know him very well or talk to him very much, but I knew the name and I met him, and I thought he seems like really a nice dude, And then I interviewed with him not so long ago for Shudder. Yeah, I don't know if you have that over here.
In a limited way, yeah. So
Yeah.
we don't have that particular show yet.
Yeah.
Only we will.
And he gave me a wonderful interview. I enjoyed it, and it was televised.
Well, I hope you get to see it come
Are we doing that now? I see some cameras over here. But, Yeah, he's wonderful, and I think he liked the movie.
So it's not a sound judgment, I've always thought.
Actually, he is.
And I don't know if it would interest you, but have you seen any of the remakes of I Spit on Your Grave?
Yeah, I saw one and maybe part of another, and I met two of the actresses, and one of them I just adored, and I cannot remember, and I meant to do this to get her name, because she was so good. She was.
I've not seen it, several, hasn't it? Might be out of curiosity.
Pardon?
I might watch it out of curiosity. I've not actually seen
Yeah.
So, totally different topic. Sounds like I'm interested in trains, I have to admit. And I believe you were a hostess on Amtrak.
I was.
Yeah, what was that all about then?
Well, I love that job. I've always loved travel and going to Europe and doing the things that I did. And so I either tried to work for the airlines, being a flight attendant, which is a challenge in itself. They don't hire everybody, and I had a tough time getting hired. And I also worked for Amtrak. I think that was before I became a flight attendant. I liked it.
They're quite long journeys, aren't they?
They can be, yeah. My favorite trip was to Australia, to Sydney, and I think that's a 13 or 14-hour flight from LA to Sydney. Love Australia. Yeah. You guys are related, aren't you, kind of?
Yes, we are, yes.
Okay, we're related too.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Holidays, settlers,
Same club.
visitors. So shall we see if the audience wants to ask any questions?
Yeah.
All right, anyone got any questions? Go over there.
Hi, Camille.
Hi.
Were you aware of the moral hysteria in the UK that was happening around the video nasties? Because I Spit on Your Grave was held up as the scapegoat or the poster of everything that was wrong with videos.
Are you talking about the video nasty?
Yeah. How aware were you of it?
I heard about it. I wasn't involved in it too much. That was my husband's. That was his department, and I remember my feelings being hurt a little bit, and like, why are they doing that?
Anybody else? Yeah, gentlemen over here.
You were in Italy for like 4 years. What other things were you doing in Italy? Obviously you were in a few films, but how else did you fill your time?
I did 6 films in Italy. The first one being What Have You Done to Solange? I did one called Decameron 2. Not that one, I think possibly. It was by Mino Guarini. And I did a film with a comedian named Frankie. And that was a comedy, kind of like a Jerry Lewis, Dean Martin type comedy. And one of my favorite films, because at the time, in the film, it's called Madeline Anatomia di un Incubo, which means Madeline Anatomy of a Nightmare. And that film, they made me look nice, pretty, and that's what I thought it was kind of all about at that time, I wasn't that deep, I'm sorry. I thought, nice, as opposed to being in Solange where I didn't wear any makeup, and they not only did that to me, they put freckles on me. I said, I already had freckles, what are you doing? And so, I guess I was a little vain. I really enjoyed Madeline Anatomia di un Incubo, and I think this is my favorite movie. Although I think What Have You Done to Solange is probably really my favorite movie of everything, of anything that I've done. Such a good and well-written story.
It's still popular today, people still love it.
Yeah, and the actor, the main lead, he's here. Fantastic. This was a young girl, you know, and he was the lead in that movie. And he's here.
I'm sorry, it doesn't say that. I think it was you first.
No,
sorry.
you go first.
You've got a tiny role, a cameo, uncredited in Lords of Salem by
Yeah.
Rob Zombie. And now that's also got in it Pat Quinn, Judy Gleason and Meg Foster, all scream queens, inverted commas, horror goddesses, although you're not in the film with them for hardly at all. Did you feel vindicated and almost flattered when Rob Zombie asked you to be in this film, and you kind of think, well, girls, we did something right? And have you even heard of Rob Zombie? Were you aware of it?
Yes, I did feel, that made me feel great that he wanted me to be in his film. Things did not go as they could have gone, but I haven't seen the film. I'm not even sure if I'm in the film. Am I?
For about, I think it's 10 seconds
I
or
am.
something.
Okay, I'll have to look at it because something went wrong with my part. I don't remember exactly why, but he was very nice to work with, and his wife Sherry, or
Oh, Sherry Moon, yeah.
yeah, she was too, and it was a great group.
So, yeah. All these years later, you made it.
I hope I'm not going to get into trouble for asking this. I understand you were involved in another film that was going to be a sequel to I Spit on the Grave. I think it's called Savage Vengeance or something. But I think you walked off the set before it was finished.
Before I spit on, before I spit on his grave.
No, after there was going to be another sequel to I Spit on Your Grave. I think it was made in the early 90s. I think it's called Savage Vengeance. I think you were involved in that, weren't you?
For who? For who?
I can't remember the name of the director now. But there was another film, Donald Farmer. Ah, that was it, yes. Thank you.
Oh, Tom Farmer, yes, I made a movie with him, it's called Savage Vengeance.
Yes, that was it.
Yeah.
That was supposed to be a sequel to I Spit on Your Grave originally, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was kind of like that. I didn't have much say about that, so that wasn't my department. I'm an actor.
That's it.
Hire me, and that's what I do.
Just further back.
And he's a wonderful friend, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Yes, he's called me since I've been here. I wanted to know how things were going, and we've stayed in touch for a long time.
Don't mind me asking, how come you walked off set though? I understood that.
Why not walk off of that film?
Well, that's the rumour.
Thought we'd quash that one then.
I think he finished the film.
You can't walk off the finished film, can you?
No.
No, I'm just going by what I read, so I didn't know if it was a touchy subject or anything.
I'll have to ask him about that.
Well, thank you anyway.
Sure. He's a great guy. Works all the time.
So it's a guy at the back.
Hi, Camille.
Hi.
I think most like horror films, there's like a fantasy element, but with I Spit on Your Grave, there's not much fantasy. It's like a very, very, very horrible film. Was it easy jumping in and out of that headspace of that character, as compared to like a movie which is more like fantasy?
My life is a fantasy. What was that? I didn't quite understand the question.
Well, I guess, so you filmed the scene where you're being raped by 4 men.
Yeah,
So when you leave the set to go home, did it kind of dwell on your mind?
Yeah.
not at all.
Is it-
No.
Easy
Yes,
to jump
thank you.
to, yeah.
Yeah, I leave that work, you know. if something bothered me that much, I wouldn't be doing it. And if it did, and I was already doing it, I'd probably say, I'm sorry, I can't do this, and bye. But that's never happened.
Anybody else? Yes.
What was it like working with Ricardo Frida on Project 7?
Oh, I enjoyed working with Ricardo Frida. I especially liked his wife, and I can't remember her name right now. But seeing that it was a night shoot, so during the day she and I would go shopping. That's what I did, and you know, being that it was filmed in Spain, but it was we were speaking mostly Italian, and the actors that were in it, other than myself, were Italian. Everybody just they had lines, but back then, I don't know how it is today, you could just count uno, due, tre, quattro. You know, you can count because they dubbed everything. Everything was dubbed, except for films maybe like The Sculpting or someone like that. They dubbed everything. And I had a great time working with Ricardo Frida. Did you like the movie?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Yeah. Well, that's good to know.
Very atmospheric. It was really well made. And you did a great part.
Thank you. He did a lot of movies.
You did.
Anybody else?
He had to so his wife could go and do all that shopping.
Were you a fan of horror movies before filming I Spit on Your Grave? And do you watch horror movies now?
Yeah, I loved The Exorcist, of course. I guess we all did. That are fans of horror movies, and I always liked them, and Alfred Hitchcock and things like that. The Twilight Zone.
And is there any particular film that you did you're most proud of?
I think the one that I'm most proud of is the first one. What Have You Done to Solange? Because I didn't know what I was doing, and I didn't know anything about. I wasn't a professional then. That was the first film I had ever done, and I was just happy to be there and hoped that I did things okay and right. So the director, Massimo, wouldn't get mad at me and growl at me, and because he could be hard. But I knew that, and I respected him for that because he got what he wanted. You know, he delivered, and but I forgot the question. What was the question?
What was your thoughts then? What was your best film that you think?
Oh yes, What Have You Done to Solange? And I think it's a good film.
Okay. Right. So any final thoughts do you have in general?
I want to come back. I want to come here and live. I love it here. I love the people here. They're really nice. They're down to earth, and they have style. What can you ask? I mean,
Well, that glorious note, ladies and gentlemen, Camille Keaton.